Hey, San Diego? San Diego Gulls, is that you? San Diego Gulls, I thought that was you. Now don't you tell me you don't remember me, because I sure as heck fire remember you. It's the San Diego Gulls! The San Diego Gulls, who blew a 2-goal lead against the Condors on Friday. Bing! The San Diego Gulls, who have allowed the most goals in the American Hockey League. Bing again! San Diego Gulls, they just got 2 5-goal losses against Ontario and Abbotsford this week. Bing again! Oh, hey, San Diego Gulls, do you have life insurance? Because I've got a feeling you ain't got any. And I've got a feeling that you've got no protection on defense. Hey, watch out for that first goal. It's a doozy.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, guys. Welcome to this special edition of Gulls Thursday. It's Groundhog Day, as if you couldn't tell already. But welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Jason J.D. Hernandez, covering hockey for over a decade. A reminder that this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. And folks, you know what? Wake up, because it's Groundhog Day. Get up. Yeah. And especially if you're a San Diego Gulls fan, it is definitely Groundhog Day, because this losing will happen over and over and over and over again. And just like the San Diego Gulls, their lack of scoring, their allowing so many goals, is just like Groundhog Day, happening over and over and over and over. You see where I'm going with this. I don't want to say it's completely hopeless, but this season legit does feel like Groundhog Day. It does. So I guess we got to talk about the last couple of games, shouldn't we? We've got to talk about what happened against the Condors. Do we have to? Yes, we do. Are you going to wear that? Yes, I'm going to wear this hat for the entire episode because it looks really cool. But I'm going to take off the glasses here because, whatever. So, San Diego played against the Condors over the weekend. That was a winnable game. In fact, that was the game that the Gulls should have won. They had a 2-goal lead. They came out firing in that first period. I thought they were going to win that game. I really thought that Bakersfield had just completely blown it, because first period, so this was a weird, stupid play by both the Gulls and the Condors. Stupid in the sense that it probably should not have materialized the way it did. Michael Del Zotto kind of playing it in the neutral zone past Bougru. Bougru just tries to chuck it towards the offensive zone, and a stupid rebound results in goalie adventures by Olivier Rodrigue, because we love goalie adventures. He tried to play the puck behind his own net. That failed. The puck took a weird bounce, but Olivier Rodrigue was way out of position playing the puck behind the boards. And, as Steve Dangle would say, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Well, he didn't. David Cotton was the lucky recipient of that goal. Hey, maybe things are turning around. Maybe this is February 2nd. Oh, guess what? They scored another one. And this was probably their best goal in weeks, because San Diego had a strong forecheck off a Yanni Calder's turnover in the Baco zone. Where has this aggression been? Pavel Regenda with a nifty steal against the boards and a back pass to the opposite faceoff dot to Bougru with only 17 seconds left in the first. This is the aggression the Gulls need to play with all the time. That was the aggression for one strong period. 1. Not 3, not 2, 1. And that was it. Second period began. Bad giveaways in the goal zone. It started getting worse and worse and worse. They failed to clear the puck outside the zone. And then Devin Shore stole the puck to Raphael Lavoie for a one-timer. Okay, let's not panic. Well, no panic here, because another bad defensive play by the Condors resulted in a juicy rebound. And this was just after a great penalty kill by the Gulls. That resulted in a Bryce Kindop goal. All of a sudden, San Diego's up 3-1 in this game. Late in the game. Oh my god, they're actually... They might have a chance. Can the losing streak finally end? Are they going to win this game? At the time, I'm thinking, yes. Not only can they win this game, and I misspoke, it wouldn't be a losing streak. It'd be a winning streak. Because the previous game, San Diego beat Bakersfield 5-3. So this would tie their longest winning streak of the season. 2. It's so sad that that's their longest winning streak of the season. Those aren't... Oh, crap. These aren't fake tears. It's kind of laughing tears, but at the same time, it's how bad the Gulls have been all season long. Their longest winning streak has been 2 all year. And they couldn't even get to that this time because the third period is when everything fell apart. They came out flat. I mean, really flat. 20 seconds in, Greg McKegg scored on a double deflection. All right, so Baco's in it. And then Baco tries to hand the Gulls the game on a silver platter. They said, here you go. We're going to give you this game. Have all you can score, like an all-you-can-eat buffet platter. We're just going to give this to you. Carter Savoy gets a bad holding penalty. Okay, here's a power play. Do something with it. They did nothing with that one. They just passed the puck around like no one's business. They didn't even get a quality shot on net. Baco cleared it out 4 times in that particular power play. Then Noel Philp got a delay of game, and then Justin Bailey tried to clear the puck. It left the ice. So all of a sudden, the Gulls had a 2-man advantage. Roy Summer calls a timeout with 1:20 in the 2-man advantage. So here I'm thinking, okay, the Gulls are going to do something. They're going to pull through and have a good lead towards the end of the game, right? Wrong. In that 1:20, the Gulls just stood around and just passed it. And it was all passes along the perimeter. Anytime they tried to pass it along or through the Royal Road, it was deflected by an active Baco stick. Or if they tried to go inside on the low slot, got deflected. Anytime they tried to get through that weird triangle looking thing, it was stopped. Because there was no movement. There wasn't guys back and forth switching off. There was no guys up in towards the blue line going back and forth trying to confuse the defense. None of that. It was super stagnant. As John Broadbent would say, that power play needs fiber in its life because there was no movement whatsoever. And after those power plays, no goals. 3 power plays, 0 goals. That was in the first 5 minutes. So what do you think would happen if you're a team that's in last place and you fail to score on the power play? What do you think is going to happen? Oh, you're going to blow a lead again. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yanni Calder scored. Tyler Benson scored. His first of the season, by the way. And that was it. Gulls had this game. They had it. It was literally in the palm of their hands, including those power plays. That's disappointing. Final score on that game was 4-3 in favor of Bakersfield, and San Diego begins a new losing streak. It's like Groundhog Day. All right. We're just going to go to the first intermission, talk about the other 2 games, and talk a little bit more about this anemic offense. We'll get to that on the other side. But first, let's talk about FanDuel. Now, we here at Locked On are just really excited about our new sports betting partner, FanDuel, because they're the #1 sportsbook in America. And if you're new to FanDuel, that's even better. They have so many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. If you download FanDuel right now and you bet on Super Bowl 57 between the Chiefs and the Eagles, you will have a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. So yeah, you might get up to $3,000 back. How cool is that? And you can bet on anything on that Super Bowl. You could bet on who's going to win, obviously, who's going to score the first touchdown. You could even bet on the coin toss, folks. Yeah, they have lines for that too. They're even. So join FanDuel today at FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim your no sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57 between the Chiefs and the Eagles. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and please gamble responsibly. It's Groundhog Day. We're reliving the same losses over and over and over again. And there's no way to stop this. I mean, there is. The season can end. That's the way to stop this. But welcome back to Locked On Gulls, part of TLOPN, or TLOPN. Alright, we got a couple more games we're just going to gloss over really quickly. I know it's Groundhog Day, but I'm going to go a little bit disco-y here because Saturday was disco night. Sorry, it was 70s night at Pechanga Arena in front of 12,000 not so happy fans towards the end at Pechanga. Like, it was just a bad game all around. The only cool thing about that game was that there was a disco party on the ice during the first intermission where there was maybe like 50, 60 people out on the ice, all in their disco outfits, just dancing to whatever music that they wanted to, which was cool. I will give credit to the Gulls. They do go all out on their theme nights. The jerseys looked amazing. They looked really cool. They're among the best jerseys as far as like theme night jerseys in the AHL. Although I think there might be better out there. But, you know, that's another opinion. Just quickly going over that game. Ontario, they dominated from the start. They had this game in the first maybe few minutes. First, you had Elias Anderson, then Tyler Madden on the power play, then Martin Chromiak, then Giacomo Ferrari, then Elias Anderson again, then Tyler Madden on the power play again. Before you know it, Ontario has scored 6 goals. They put up a 6 spot on the San Diego Gulls. Wow. It was as bad as we thought. And that was both power plays on Ontario, by the way. San Diego did not have any power plays. Ontario had 2, and Ontario scored on both of them. Now, this isn't to say that Ontario has the best power play. I mean, Ontario's power play is pretty good. It's not Martin Ferk good, but they're still at a 22% clip on their power play. That is in the top 10 in the American Hockey League. It is good. The Gulls PK had been pretty good recently. There was a section on another podcast, which y'all should check out at some point. It's called the Calder Farmstead. And Sean O'Brien talked at length about one good thing about the San Diego Gulls. One good thing. So shout out to the Calder Farmstead. He pointed out that the Gulls on their PK is kind of a modified like 1-3, which has worked for them. They didn't really do that on this game. Their PK was all out of sorts. There was no structure on either PK, but this is also a result of Ontario having some excellent movement on both power plays. And that's what just gave them both power play goals. Yeah, not much else to say on this game except Disco Night was cool. They played all kinds of awesome 70s music. Ontario staying alive as far as getting a top 4 spot in the playoffs. 7-2 was the final score. Yeah, San Diego did score late-ish in the second, but by that point, it didn't really matter. Once you're down by a big amount, those late goals do not matter. As far as shots, 24-14. After 2 periods, that was it. Hey, at least San Diego didn't allow 40 shots. Yeah! They only allowed 37 shots to the Ontario Reign. Oh yeah, Alan Quine also scored late in the game, but that was completely garbage time at that point. Completely garbage time. Then we go to last night's game. Last night's game was so bad that I actually had to stop watching it because it was just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, have you ever actually, like, done that? Like, I'm sure all of you have done that this season if you're a Ducks or a Gulls fan, but you're watching the game and you just want to stop midway because you know where it's going, you know what's going to happen. That's exactly where this was. Christian Wolanin, he was pretty much everywhere for the first 25 minutes of this game. He wound up with a goal in the second period. I feel like Wolanin could have had more than 1 point on the night. He could have easily had 3 points on the night. And I'm going to just say it. If it wasn't for Lukas Dostal, it could have easily been 8-1 or 9-1 or even 10-1. Where was the defense? The defense was nowhere to be found. So it really is like Groundhog Day. And we're reliving the same results over and over again. I don't got to tell you that San Diego's power or penalty kill was not working again on this game. The power play was okay. At least Rocco Grimaldi got the lone power play goal for the Gulls. Yay! Rocco's still at it. Rocco has been the bright spot for the San Diego Gulls this season. He enters Coachella Valley this coming weekend with 18 goals. Yeah, that's it. As far as the rest of the goals, there's not a whole lot to write home about. In general this season, the Gulls have allowed pretty much the most goals, and they've scored almost the least amount of goals. Almost! Granted, there are a couple teams that have played, fewer games. San Diego's got 113 goals right now. There's one team with less goals, but they've played 3 fewer games. That team would be the Grand Rapids Griffins. Yes, the Griffins have scored less goals, but they're bad. They're very bad. I mean, you want to talk about teams that are bad in the West. Grand Rapids is bad. Henderson is really bad. None of those teams hold a candle to how bad the Gulls are this season, because San Diego has allowed by far the most goals this season so far at 175. And if it wasn't for Lukas Dostal, that number could be way higher. It could be upwards of 200 goals allowed in only 44 games. No bueno. No bueno. Okay, we are going to head into the second intermission. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Stay locked in. But let's talk about Built Bar, everyone's favorite built-in bar. And folks, Built Bars are better than ever with so many delicious flavors that, these are protein bars. These are health bars that are actually tasty and taste like a candy bar. I mean, you want to talk about some unbelievable flavors. There's peanut butter brownie. There's coconut almonds. And my favorite puff flavor still is the churro puff. Love them. They're covered in 100% real chocolate, a whopping 17 grams of protein, only 4 grams of sugar, and only 130 calories. And now you don't need to wait around to get a box, because now you can find Built Bars at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. Oh, by the way, Sam's Club, that's that better version of Costco. Anyway, that's right. Head to your nearest Walmart or Sam's Club today. Pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. Oh, and if you want to try Built Bars for yourself, head to Built.com, use promo code LOCKEDON15 to to get 15% off your next order of Built Bar, the best tasting protein bar ever. Hi, welcome back to Locked On Gulls, part of Locked On Podcast Network. I'm tired of talking about the Gulls, so joining me for the final segment is currently one half of the Calder Farmstead, which I just talked about, Sarah Avampato. Yo, how's it going? Fine.
Yeah.
So the Gulls, they're bad.
Yeah, every other bad team in the league, I think, is thankful for the Gulls' existence because it makes them, like, less bad. And, like, if you haven't listened to the Calder Farmstead, like, we talk about every team at some point in time or the other. And, like, every time we talk about the Gulls, like, we keep coming back to, like, this fan base doesn't deserve this. Like, I've been to Gulls games. You obviously are at Gulls games all the time. Like, y'all Gulls people are, like, one of the best fan bases in this league. And so for as much as, like, as someone who covers and likes the rain, like, you're my enemy. But at the end of the day, like, you guys are passionate about your Gulls hockey and deserve, like, a much better experience than you're getting this year.
No kidding. Hey, you're going to see the Gulls this weekend.
I am. I bet they're going to lose.
Yeah, we should probably just mention that for a hot second.
Yeah.
Who are the Gulls playing this weekend?
The Firebirds.
What place are the Firebirds in?
They're first, right?
Yeah. They're
Sorry about your lives.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I bet Sean on his little predictor, he should have Coachella Valley 75%, San Diego 25%.
I mean, you should, but
He won't.
math is weird, so.
It is. But, yeah, every other team is bad. I talked about Grand Rapids for a hot second. You know what? I didn't talk about Chicago.
We don't have to. They're very bad.
They're very bad?
Yes.
What's going on with the Griffins and the Wolves?
I mean, the Griffins are all, like, no offense. I mean, none of you listening are Griffins fans. Like, no offense, but they've historically been bad. They're a team that I feel like it doesn't matter who is the coaching staff. It doesn't matter who's on the roster. Their whole, like, philosophy is we hit stuff, which doesn't make for a great team. Chicago, I mean, part of their biggest problem has just been injuries. At one point earlier in the season, they had at least 10 guys out of the lineup.
That's right, they did.
Their fourth, like, bottom six was basically ECHL guys. Just not great. Kochetkov, who everyone expected was going to be the starter and goal for them, has spent most of the season in the NHL because Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta are, like, the least healthy, like, able to stay healthy goalie tandem in the whole league. So, you know, you haven't had your goaltender.
Yeah, who has been the goaltender? I think
Zach Sawchenko.
Oh, that's right.
Who was previously with the Barracuda, and Cale Morris, who has been with Rockford previously, but mostly, like, ECHL. Sawchenko is fine as your number two.
But he can give up some bad goals.
He gives up many bad goals.
I think Sarah heard me at one point. I was watching a particularly bad goal that he gave up, and my first words were, "Oh, Zachary."
Yeah, it's not great. And so, you know, it's also, you know, people, I think, you know, you guys, Locked On Gulls listeners, understand how the AHL works. But, like, I think a lot of people don't necessarily get, like, you know, in the NHL, the Lightning win. Like, the Lightning are just good every year. It's just what they do. It doesn't necessarily work like that in the AHL. Like, I can count on one hand the number of guys who are back in Chicago who won the Cup last year. Like, and that's just the nature of the AHL is turnover. The coaching staff turned over.
Yep. One of whom was a former goal, Podorowski.
Yeah, who is now in Coachella. So it's just, like, they're doing bad, but, like, guys are getting healthier. Kochetkov has been back, presuming that Ranta and Anderson don't get hurt again, which they will. You know, Jack Drury, who was one of the best players on the team last year, started in the NHL. They sent him back down because he just wasn't getting minutes. So, like, he's been good. Like, players are getting healthy. They're starting to be less terrible, but still, I feel like every time I go to a game, they lose. In
San Diego's case, they've had a slew of injuries this year. They've got the most man games lost in the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
294.
That is many games.
They're going to hit 300 this weekend because every time I announce these scratches for San Diego, there's always a long list.
Yeah.
A super long list of all the players. It's somewhere in my bag, but the last time the Gulls came to Coachella Valley, I have to write down all the scratches, and before each game, I have to announce all of them, including suspensions. The fact that Chase DeLeo's been hurt pretty much all season sucks.
Yeah.
The fact that Hunter Drew's gotten himself suspended, Del Zotto's been hurt. There's just been too many guys hurt. Niehoff's been hurt. Like, that's a big chunk of it sometimes, isn't it?
You know who else is hurt?
Who?
Buddy Robinson.
You want to tell him? I'm devastated.
So Buddy Robinson, who I still don't think exists as a person, if you don't somehow follow the career of Buddy Robinson, is in the Chicago's organization this year, plays for the Ice Hogs mostly, and broke his wrist. And so he's going to be out for at least a month. I discovered that today while reading about the Ice Hogs, and I was like, how did this pretend boy break his wrist?
He's real.
I haven't seen him.
Charles Buddy Robinson is real. He played adequately with the Ducks and played well with the Gulls last season.
Or was it just a person in a Robinson jersey?
He was good.
Was it the same guy every time in the
Yeah,
Robinson jersey?
yes,
or was it like the
every
skater
time.
equivalent
No.
of an e-bug? They just pull a guy from like,
It's not like that
UCLA or something and
it's not like that Bogdan NBA commercial where there's 3 kids in a 7'4" outfit. It's not that.
No, I'm not saying it's 3 kids in a trench coat. I'm saying it's like one random beer leaguer that they just are like, you're Buddy Robinson tonight.
I mean, not like an e-bug, not like we saw, what was it, 2 weeks ago? No, which team was it again?
Edmonton.
Edmonton, that's right.
Although technically, he wasn't actually an e-bug, because so he is their designated e-bug, but
Right.
the traditional definition of an e-bug is you start with your 2 NHL goalies, both of those guys get hurt in the game, your e-bug comes in off the bench. In this case, Jack Campbell was in the game. Stuart Skinner had already been, they learned before
just
the
got
game
hurt, that's
he
right.
was sick. They learned before the game that Stuart Skinner was sick and wasn't going to be able to go. And so whatever that kid's name was that I forgot.
I forgot to. We need to look right now.
I think it's Matt Berlin, I think.
Berlin, there we go.
So he actually signed a amateur tryout contract. So he wasn't actually the e-bug because he was off, he was there already.
Matt Berlin.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
so
call.
he wasn't technically an e-bug. Although, I'm going to count it anyway. But, technically, he was the actual rostered goaltender that night. Second goaltender that night.
I would count it personally because he did find out that day.
Yeah, but he didn't find out, in the middle of the game that he was going
True.
to have to suit up.
This isn't a Zamboni
Correct.
driver situation
Correct.
here.
Or, Scott Foster, accountant by day, beer leaguer by night.
I love that one.
It was great.
I don't know which one's my favorite one.
I mean, obviously the Zamboni driver.
Oh, the Zamboni driver.
Right.
Just for the meltdown of someone I already mentioned in this podcast.
I mean, he beat his own team. It was amazing.
That was great. That would never happen in San Diego. Oh, you know what? That could. There are plenty of cromulent goaltenders in SoCal.
Yeah.
Plenty. Mm-hmm. No, trust me, there are.
I wasn't
Shout out to Icetown Carlsbad. Some good goaltenders there. Yeah, I gave them their shout out.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. What else can we talk about with this stupid AHL season? Because there's
I don't know.
so much we could talk about. You have your show. You talk about PDO sometimes. You talk about how unlucky some teams are. In the Gulls case, it's just been bad. Just all bad.
I don't even know that if you look at the Gulls, I think it's just bad.
The estimated PTO or the rolling? No, the even strength PDO is bad. The even strength is so bad.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. If you look, you're at a chart, they're down here.
They're down in the lower left corner.
It's the bad spot because it means they have both bad saves and bad shooting percentage.
Yeah. That's what got to me. The shot differential. You pointed this out yesterday and I didn't believe you. That even though San Diego has given up the most shots, right next to them is Providence.
Yeah.
And I had this incredulous look What the hell? Really?
It's fine.
But Providence is good.
I'm used to you not believing me. It's okay.
No, don't.
Just saying. But yeah, no, Providence is like one of the best teams in the league. But you know, if you made the chart go away, so I can't talk about it anymore. But yeah, it's just it's very unexpected because when you look at it, you know, San Diego averaging, what is it? I can't read because
33
really
shots per game.
Yeah, 33 shots per game. Providence averaging 32.5 against per game in regulation. And this is where like I wish the AHL had better like data that they released to people. And this is one of those things where I'm like, I'm sure it could be cobbled together because if you look at the box score pages on the AHL's website, they have the little shot map thingy.
Yeah.
So like the data is out there. It's just that no one can get at it to like do anything with it to like get information about, you know, shot quality and like are all the like like Providence, like are they allowing a bajillion shots but they're all coming from, you know, the blue line or they're coming from the sides and they're not coming from like the high danger areas. And whereas I think the Gulls, I think it's just like people get to camp out in front of poor Luka Dostal and just, you know.
Oh, poor Dostal.
Yeah.
That poor kid is seeing so many shots.
He doesn't deserve this.
He doesn't. And the thing about that, it would take a monumental effort to go through every shot chart to try to figure out which of those shots are in the high quality areas or which are in the home plate area. And this is maybe a little bit too insider here, but I won't go too much into it. But maybe if the program could instantaneously say, if it's in that home plate area, it's a high quality shot, they could put that out there as data.
Right. Yeah. Because like obviously like you know, the NHL's website, you can like all the people who do the magical computer things from it can like the NHL's website has the data in it about like where the shot, what like
how many slot shots.
Right. And like that just doesn't, I feel like if it existed in the AHL in a way that people could get at it, it would exist. Like someone of these like handful of AHL stats guys would have done something with it.
You know where some of those are? There's on the report. I'm going to go through the NHL site really quick. There's a thing called miscellaneous. There's legit a miscellaneous tab.
I don't think I've ever clicked on that.
And it tells you about all the missed shots, all the empty net goals, all the takeaways, giveaways, block shots, hits. It tells you all that stuff, which is really cool. Also, if you really wanted to be specific here, you could also see which players have hit misses over the post, the crossbar. You could actually see how many times a player has hit the crossbar or the post this season.
I'd love for that data to exist in the AHL.
I don't think they'd ever get that.
No.
I mean, this is really insider.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have this available, you've never clicked the miscellaneous tab, have you?
No, why would I click it? It says miscellaneous.
It's cool.
Yeah, but like miscellaneous doesn't tell me what's in the tin. I'm not going to click on it if I don't like know what's there.
I clicked on miscellaneous the other day because I was thinking that maybe the Ducks were just unlucky. It turns out they're just bad. They're just really bad.
Yeah.
And as far as the Gulls, I don't want to say it.
I mean, they're also just bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Like, I mean, also, there's been, like you said, a ton of injuries, call-ups to the Ducks. Like, you've been, like, at points, you guys were playing with, like, ECHL goalies.
Oh, my God.
Like, no disrespect to any of them, but, like, if Dostal can't keep this team together, like, what is some kid who's been playing in the ECHL going to do?
Yeah, I gotta go over, like, who else played for San Diego, because it was not just Dostal and Ole Eriksson Ek, who also has not been good this season. Oh, that's right. Garrett Metcalf and Daniel Manella also played this season. Can I just share this?
Yes.
Daniel Manella's goals against average, I kid you not, 40.37.
Okay, but read his time on ice.
I know it's 8 minutes. Those are 8 bad minutes.
Yes, like that is not a real number. Like that tells you that he played the worst 9 minutes of hockey in his life.
It really does. His goals against is worse than empty net goals against.
That empty net, man. It's keeping stuff out.
Yeah, no kidding. Good job, empty net.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been part of it too. I mean, having Garrett Metcalf as your starting goaltender for 5 games, he's an ECHL goaltender.
Yeah.
Let's just be real here.
Yeah. There's not much you can do. I mean,
no.
Also, I mean, like, Dostal's save percentage is .910, which is like, for the AHL, like, that's good.
Yeah.
You know? And the poor guy still just can't, like, win a game.
That's because he sees shots like crazy.
Right.
Did you know that there's one goaltender, we just clicked on it, that has more shots against than Lukáš Dostal? But he's also played more.
And, like, so the answer is Dustin Wolf. 950 shots that he's faced. Dostal has 934. Wolf's only played one more game, so I can't do math. You can. What's 950 minus 934?
16.
Yeah, so that's like not even like half a game
Yeah.
of hockey, like, difference.
And Dustin Wolf has played 230 more minutes than Dostal. Dostal's seen too many shots.
Yeah.
Poor kid. That's why he's an all-star.
Yeah. I think that also, like, speaks to, like, how many games Dostal has come in either in relief or has gotten pulled, because it's 32 games played for Wolf, 31 for Dostal. Like, there shouldn't be a 200-minute difference in there.
Yep. And there has been at least, by my count, 4 games this season where Eriksson Ek has come in, stunk it up,
Yeah.
and got pulled. And oh, that's right. It was a road trip where Dostal was supposed to have a day off. Eriksson Ek started, played poorly, and instead of giving Dostal the day off, nope, you got to come in.
Yeah.
He's given up 7 goals.
Yeah. This is where, again, I wish the AHL had better, like, stats, because in the NHL, you can see games played versus games started. That's what I care about more, is how many games have you started, like, versus a situation like this where the poor kid is like, well, you already gave up 5. Here I go.
Yeah.
Gonna get shelled some more. Great.
That's been San Diego's story pretty much all season.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can give much hope for this year.
My expectation for the Gulls is going down the stretch. It's the same expectation that I have for Grand Rapids, which is you're going to mess up other people's lives. Like, you're in a position where, like, the playoffs, like, every other team ahead of you would have to, like, literally be abducted by aliens. That's just sort of how it is. But if you can mess up someone else's, like, if you can really just, like, screw with whoever, like, Bakersfield's day and mess up their playoff seeding or something, like, that is what I want.
Are you saying that those last 2 home games, they're going to be Calgary?
Yes.
How evil would that be?
Amazing.
Or even worse. Oh, that's even worse. The final 2 games at Colorado, which would give Ontario the 4 seed and home ice in that opening round. Oh, that could be...
Yeah.
Oh, that could be evil.
I mean, you know, as someone who has covered a bad team, like, you get to a point where, like, you've been statistically, like, eliminated from the playoffs. Like, there's nothing, like, right. Like, you just have to play out the rest of the stretch, no matter how long the rest of the stretch is. What else is there to play for other than messing up other people's lives?
We play for pride.
No, that's dumb. No, play to, like, really jack up someone else. It's like all
play
like
for pettiness.
Like, yes, like that one year, like the Kings missed out on the playoffs by like 1 point or something, and it was like what, Calgary that beat them or what, like,
yeah,
like that is what I want for you, Gulls. I want you to just, like, as long as you're not messing it up for the Reign, please don't like mess their life up.
Well, they're not,
but,
because
like,
they only play them once more this season.
Yeah, but, like, you know, they could lose games against teams that, like, Ontario needs to not get points. Like, there's all sorts of scenarios, but I'm just saying, like you could really, really just make things gnarly for someone.
San Diego's beat Ontario once this season out of a lot of games.
That's, yeah.
And they only play 2 more games. I think San Diego's tired of Ontario just screwing with them.
Well, yeah.
It's going to be like those March, April games.
Yeah.
4 against Calgary, couple against Iowa. Oh, that could be fun screwing with Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa's been real weird this year.
Yeah, they've been 4 against Iowa. Oh, they've been up and down this year too.
Yeah. They're bad though, so don't believe the hype.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this enough. I mean, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Little more than I thought. That was good.
Cool. Good luck, Gulls. Have fun messing with like Colorado or something.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Do it.
You know what happened in Colorado last year? The end of the season. This will give Gulls fans a little bit of just like to end with cheer.
Yes.
At the end of last season, there was a 2-game set at Colorado. San Diego won both of those games. Remember what happened on one of those games?
I don't remember what happened last week, so no.
Lukas Dostal scored that goalie goal.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, remember that now? And all the crowd's like, "Ah!" going crazy. And all 100 Gulls fans, by the way, shout out to the Gulls fans. I can't believe like that many traveled out there. Like
Colorado's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So there's hope. Screw with everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Where can the fine folks find your work and find you online and all that?
You can find me on Twitter at Right Said Sarah. It's WRITE said Sarah with an H. The Calder Farmstead is available wherever you get your podcasts, so go give it a listen. I think we just talked about the Ducks or the Gulls a couple weeks ago, so you'll be coming back around on the cycle, and just come like listen to AHL stuff wherever you get podcasts like this one, and also YouTube.
You said something nice about the Gulls too.
Yeah.
Last time.
Well, because
that was cool.
they do some things well.
They do.
They just can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see, it's not all about bashing the Gulls. There are other teams to bash.
Yeah.
Anyway, you could find this podcast that you're watching wherever you are watching it currently. That was Wordly Weirded. Weirdly, wow. I'm gonna leave all this in. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, don't look at me like that, Stitcher, Spotify, Odyssey, Google, no, not Google, yeah, Google Podcasts, I said that already, Amazon, YouTube, not Smoke Signal, don't do that.
You could. Everyone's got to learn a hobby. What else are you going to do?
Morse code.
Yeah.
Morse code. Ducks, bad, stop. Gulls, bad, stop.
Yep.
What else? My personal Twitter's at StimpyJD. The show's Twitter's at LO_Ducks. And if you want to email me, like some of you have recently, thank you for those, lockedonanaheimducks@gmail.com. And little bonus, if you're coming out to Coachella Valley, 'cause that's coming up, let me know. You could find me down in the PA booth. Not that the cat's out of the bag. Meow. I can't do a good cat. I'm doing the PA for the Firebirds, and I'll be doing that against the Gulls. At least I know how to pronounce all the San Diego Gulls players' names.
For all the goals, they're not going to score.
Oh. No, I'll give them one per game.
Yeah, what's your prediction before we end? What's your prediction for the? Are you allowed to give predictions?
I think Coachella's going to win both games.
But give me a score.
Okay, Friday's game, I'm going to go 5-2. I'm going to give San Diego 2 goals on this one. Saturday is pink at the rink. I think Eriksson Ek's going to start that game.
And get pulled from it?
No.
Okay.
Because Dostal is playing All-Star Weekend. So I'm going to say it's going to be 8-1.
Oof.
On that Saturday game.
Oof, you heard it here first.
It's going to be a bloodbath. But you know what?
It'll blend in with the pink on the rink.
Oh my God.
This is why you have me on the show.
So if you're in Coachella Valley, come say hi. I love seeing the Gulls fans come out. I think you'll be there too.
Yeah, so. But you won't find me.
Yeah, she'll be incognito.
I'm like the Phantom of the Opera.
The Phantom.
Nope. That's it for the show. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right. Please be kind to one another. Be safe out there. And Ducks and Gulls fly together. Caw-caw.